If I'm being honest, we're kind of demonizing triggers. Like if triggers were a person, he's probably just lurking, crouched in like some corner and it's be like, oh, why does everybody hate me? And I think triggers should be hated. Triggers are kind of good. Like unpopular opinion, I'm gonna say it as it is. Sorry if I trigger anyone. If you're triggered, like keep watching the video because I'm gonna show you what triggers actually are, or what I think triggers actually are. Because I think with all the Instagram psychology that is floating around, we talk so much about trauma. We talk so much about people pleasing and being like an ENFP avoidantly attached Scorpio or whatever, that we actually lose track of what words actually mean. And we overuse them. We inflate them with meaning that they didn't even have in the first place. And when it comes to triggers, then triggers are an actually really, really serious thing. Originally, like if someone is triggered, they're like having a literal trauma response that is sending them back into a traumatic situation without them, like most people can't even do anything about it. Having flashbacks and having like a proper trauma response, like being really triggered, is far from the reality of what you may think a trigger is. And I think what you call a trigger is actually something that is happening within your body that is not bad. When you're triggered, there's like this essence of saying, when I'm triggered, there's this essence of, I don't want to have this. You're like, you triggered me and you, like, fuck you. And now I'm like left with this terrible feeling here. And yeah, I sort of have to deal with it. There's this nagging sense of, I don't want to be in my body right now. And what if I told you that what you call being triggered is actually an invitation from your body and from your psyche to evolve? It's nothing bad. It's nothing that sometimes even needs to be downregulated or like to be dealt with. It's something that has to be met. It's something that can be used for your own development. Because if you are angry at something, that fundamentally means that something is not going the way you want it. And then you have two options. The first is you can like point your finger at all the things that you don't like, and you overlook that four fingers are actually pointing back, or yeah, it's kind of three, but you get the idea. You project your anger outwards and you say, I'm triggered and it's your fault that I feel bad. And the second thing is, you could take responsibility. You take ownership. And what if I told you that taking ownership doesn't even mean that you have to suffer the trigger and you have to be like, oh fuck, now I'm triggered and I have to really, you are really angry and this and that. What if I told you that when you're triggered, a part within you that is vulnerable, that probably has never been loved in the way it needed to be loved, is knocking on your door and is longing for a hug and for warmth? What if I told you that when you're triggered and you're angry, something from the past has been frozen and is longing for your warm heart so the ice around that part can melt and it can soften? If parts of us are knocking on our door and we say, I don't want to have this, it's akin to trying to shut the door, trying to keep the door closed. And the part will, the trigger, the emotion that is arising within your body will continue to press against that door. And you can tell like how much effort it is to keep that part out. And keeping that part out means, symbolically, not feeling the feeling that is coming up. Because your trigger is a feeling. Your trigger is happening something, like it's something that happens here. It's something that you can literally experiencing. Like when we talk about triggers and so much about like Instagram psychology and all of these concepts, what we're doing is we're actually dissociating into the concept. And the trigger is a word that is pointing towards an experience that you're having. And experiences are meant to be experienced. So the trigger is an invitation of a part of you to grow. What do I mean by growing? Usually when we're triggered, it's because we are in a projection. What does it mean to project? When we talk about projection, we have to first talk about the shadow. The shadow is kind of the place within our psyche where everything that we don't like about ourselves, that we also learn to not like about ourselves, that is shameful, that is bad, that is wrong, everything that is deemed not good is just going into the shadow. It's like, better not have that. The thing is, the things that are in the shadow are still within us. You cannot just store away your anger. You cannot, just because you're told that anger is not good, doesn't mean the anger is not here. The psyche has a very, very clever mechanism of giving the anger the chance, so to speak, to resolve itself and to show up. And this is through being triggered. This is through saying, fuck you, I don't like you, you trigger me because you are constantly like dominating me and you are so powerful, and fuck you, I can't, like, I feel so small within you and you're just bad. You're a narcissist, like, to throw in another Instagram term. The thing is, if I point towards someone that I insult when I say, you are powerful, fuck you, you are powerful, what I do in this moment, I'm triggered, is I'm disowning my own power. Because let's say I was totally aware that I'm a powerful human being and I can, withstand everything, that comes at me. I'm resilient, all of these things that I connect with power. I probably wouldn't have even the need to call someone else out that they are like powerful and narcissistic and all of that. I wouldn't even bother, let's be honest. So we project the things we cannot accept about ourselves outwards, and we call it a trigger. And what that happens is we need the other person that we projected our stuff onto to change. It's like, I'm triggered and you need to change. I have to experience this terrible thing within me, and that is because of you. And unless you don't change, I will feel terrible. So it's like an inner contract almost when you say you're triggered and it's all your fault, that says, I won't be happy until you change whatever you're doing. And when you keep on doing what you're doing, then I will be resentful of you. I will continue to hate you. And I will display what probably 90% of all marriage in the world go through from time to time: resentment. So triggers are nothing that needs to be regulated away, nothing that you need to avoid. Triggers are a part of you that are knocking on your door, that long to be held, that long to be welcomed, that long to be attuned to. Triggers show you what parts of you have disowned and stuffed into the shadows. Triggers show you that you have a body, and the best thing you can do when you're triggered is connecting to your body, connecting to the somatic experience of the anger, the frustration behind the trigger, and learn to accept it and own it and attune to it. Treat it really like it's a visitor that's knocking on your door, that some way, somehow has a gift for you. And all you need to do is embrace the trigger. Maybe, take your space and take somatic inventory. Where in your body do you feel the trigger? Can you allow the trigger to be here? Can you attune to the trigger? And can you find a healthy way of expressing the emotional charge of the trigger? Maybe like screaming into a pillow, maybe painting something, writing a song, maybe writing something down, journaling, recording a YouTube video, whatever floats your boat. Give it a healthy vessel of expression after you relate it and attune to it. The difference between like being triggered as in having a trauma response and being triggered as in I'm Instagram psychology style triggered is so crucial to me. It's really close to my heart because in my personal practice, I work with trauma. I know what a trauma response looks like, and it's nowhere close to what most people call a trigger. The things that you call trigger are actually on your side. They're almost your friends. They're like well-meaning old visitors that knock on your door, and all you have to do is like find the resilience to be with them and actually know that they are a somatic experience that you can allow, attune to, and express. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you're triggered, let me know in the comment section. Let's have a discussion about it. Let's trigger each other. Let's invite each other to grow more. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.